Aberamentho, also known as Abraxas or Abrasax, represents a syncretic deity who transcends the conventional boundaries of good and evil, embodying the dualities of existence in a way that challenges traditional theological categories. This exploration will examine the various facets of Aberamentho's role in Gnostic thought, his symbolic representations, and his lasting impact on esoteric traditions. Okie dokie. Aberamentho is often regarded as a syncretic figure, blending elements from different religious and philosophical traditions. The Gnostics frequently incorporated ideas and symbols from various sources, including Judaism, Christianity, Greek philosophy, and Egyptian religion. Aberamentho is a prime example of this syncretism. His name, Abraxas, is believed to have originated in ancient Egyptian or Persian magical traditions, and it was later adopted by the Gnostics as a powerful symbol of their spiritual beliefs. Aberamentho transcends the dualities of existence. He's not confined to the roles of a purely benevolent or malevolent deity. Instead, he embodies both aspects simultaneously. This dual nature is central to his identity as a Gnostic deity, reflecting the Gnostic worldview that the material world is a mixture of light and darkness. Aberamentho's syncretic nature allows him to function as a bridge between these opposing forces, guiding the soul through the complexities of existence. The name Aberamentho is believed to be a variant of Abraxas, a term with deep mystical significance. To Gnostic and other esoteric traditions, Abraxas was considered a powerful word of magical importance, often inscribed on amulets, talismans, and charms. The name Abraxas was associated with the numerical value of 365, which corresponds to the number of days in a year, symbolizing the full cycle of time in the cosmos. The name's etymology remains a subject of debate among scholars. It is generally thought to derive from ancient magical practices, where the letters of the name were believed to hold numerical or mystical power. In some interpretations, Abraxas is seen as a composite being that encompasses all of creation, both the spiritual and material realms, symbolizing the unity of all things. And for the Gnostics, the name Aberamentho held profound significance. It represents the totality of the divine presence in the cosmos, encompassing all aspects of existence. The name was invoked in prayers, rituals, and magical practices as a means of accessing higher spiritual knowledge. By invoking Aberamentho, Gnostics believed they could transcend the limitations of the material world and connect to the divine source. In various Gnostic sects, Aberamentho is depicted as a supreme being or an emanation of the ultimate God. In these cosmologies, Aberamentho is often seen as a manifestation of the divine that exists beyond the demiurge. Unlike the demiurge, who is often portrayed as ignorant or malevolent, Aberamentho represents a higher level of divinity, one that transcends the imperfections of the material realm. He's also sometimes associated with the ruler of the 365 heavens, or eons. Now there's 365 of them, each corresponding to a day of the year. In this role, he is seen as the ultimate authority over the cosmos, governing the cycles of time and the movement of the celestial bodies. This association with the number 365 further emphasizes his role as a figure of cosmic order and completeness. In some Gnostic texts, Aberamentho is also described as the source of all spiritual emanations, from whom all other divine beings and eons originate. This makes him the central figure in the Gnostic cosmology, representing the unity and fullness of the divine pleroma. As a supreme being, Aberamentho embodies the totality of divine power and wisdom, transcending the dualities of existence and providing a path for the soul's return to the divine source. One of the more distinctive features of Aberamentho is his embodiment of the ambiguity of good and evil. In traditional religious systems, deities are often categorized as either good or evil, and Gnosticism challenges these simplistic dichotomies by presenting Aberamentho as a figure who transcends such binary classifications. His dual nature reflects the Gnostic belief that the material world is a complex and ambiguous place where good and evil are often intertwined. In some Gnostic sects, Aberamentho is seen as a being who contains both light and darkness, symbolizing the inherent duality of existence. And this dual nature is not viewed as a flaw, but as a necessary aspect of the divine order. The Gnostics believe that the journey towards spiritual enlightenment required an understanding of this duality, and by recognizing the coexistence of good and evil within the divine, Gnostics could transcend the limitations of the material world and achieve Gnosis. Aberamentho, as a symbol of this duality, serves as a guide for the soul on its path towards spiritual liberation. His role in Gnostic mythology also extends beyond his function as a cosmic ruler or embodiment of duality. He is invoked as a protective figure, especially in the context of magical practices. In the ancient world, magic and religion were often closely intertwined, and Gnosticism was no exception. Aberamentho's name and image frequently appeared on amulets, charms, and other magical objects, and believed to offer protection and spiritual insight. These amulets often featured the name Abrasax, along with the symbolic imagery, such as the serpent, the lion, or the sun, all of which were associated with Aberamentho. The use of these amulets was widespread in the late antique period, reflecting the belief that Aberamentho's power to protect the wearer from harm, whether physical, spiritual, or metaphysical. In addition to protection, Aberamentho was also believed to grant gnosis to those who invoked him. By wearing or using these objects, inscribed with Aberamentho's name, Gnostics believed they could tap into this divine power and gain the insight needed to transcend the material realm. In some Gnostic sects, Aberamentho is identified with Jesus Christ, particularly in texts where Christ is portrayed as a cosmic figure rather than a purely historical or human one. This identification highlights the Gnostic tendency to reinterpret traditional religious figures and narratives in ways that align their esoteric teachings. For these Gnostics, Aberamentho, as Jesus, represents the divine revealer, the one who brings gnosis to humanity. In this context, Jesus is not merely a savior in the conventional sense, but a manifestation of the ultimate God, who descends into the material world to awaken the divine spark within human beings. The name Aberamentho may have been used to emphasize Jesus' transcendent nature, distinct from the earthly and material concerns of the demiurge. This identification also reflects the Gnostic view of Jesus as a figure who transcends traditional religious boundaries. By associating Jesus with Aberamentho, Gnostics were able to integrate their beliefs with the emerging Christian tradition, representing Jesus not just as a historical figure, but a cosmic force who played a crucial role in the spiritual liberation of humanity. He's also frequently depicted in Gnostic art and iconography in symbolic and enigmatic forms. One of the more common representations of Aberamentho is a figure with a lion's head and a serpent's body, which sounds very familiar because it's Yaldabaoth, holding a shield and a whip. This composite image encapsulates the various aspects of his identity and role. The lion's head symbolizes strength, authority, and the power of the divine, and the serpent's body represents wisdom, knowledge, and the cyclical nature of existence. The shield and whip further emphasize Aberamentho's role as a protector and ruler, guarding the boundaries between the material realm and the spiritual realms. This iconography reflects the Gnostic belief in the complexity and ambiguity of the divine. Aberamentho's dual nature is visually represented through these composite forms, challenging the viewer to look beyond the surface and recognize the deeper spiritual truths that lie beneath. In this way, Gnostic art serves as both a representation of and a meditation on the mysteries of existence. Aberamentho is also often linked to the pleroma. He embodies the totality of divine power and wisdom, and he is seen as a source of all spiritual emanations, the one who oversees the entire cosmic order. And this connection to the pleroma continues to emphasize Aberamentho's role as a central figure in Gnostic cosmology, where he acts as a mediator between the divine realm and the material world. His association with the pleroma places him in a position of immense spiritual significance, as he is believed to maintain the balance between the various forces at play within the cosmos. His role as a bridge between the material and spiritual worlds also highlights the Gnostic understanding of salvation. In many Gnostic systems, the ultimate goal is to transcend, and Aberamentho, as a being who embodies the fullness of the pleroma, is seen as a guide or guardian who can lead souls back to their divine source. His connection to the pleroma underscores his importance in the Gnostic quest for spiritual liberation. In Gnostic Numerology, the number 7 holds special significance, often representing completeness, spiritual perfection, and the 7 planetary spheres. Aberamentho is frequently associated with this number, reflecting his role as a figure of cosmic order and spiritual wholeness. The 7 planetary spheres were central to many ancient cosmologies, representing the celestial bodies that govern the visible universe. In Gnostic thought, these spheres were often seen as barriers or prisons that trap souls within the material world, preventing them from returning to the divine realm. Each sphere was ruled by an archon who served the demiurge. Aberamentho, as a figure associated with the number 7, is often portrayed as a ruler or overseer of these spheres. However, unlike the archons who sought to keep souls imprisoned within the material world, Aberamentho's role is more complex. In some Gnostic traditions, he is seen as a liberator who helps souls transcend these spheres and return to the pleroma. His association with the number 7 symbolizes his ability to guide souls through the spiritual journey of ascent, leading them to spiritual perfection and reunion with the divine. Also, the number 7 connects Aberamentho to the concept of the Ogdoad, the 8th and final realm that lies beyond the 7 planetary spheres. The Ogdoad represents the ultimate goal of the Gnostic path. Aberamentho's connection to both the number 7 and the Ogdoad further emphasizes his role as a guide on the spiritual journey. Aberamentho did not disappear with the decline of Gnosticism. Instead, he continued to influence various esoteric and occult traditions throughout history. His name and symbolism have been preserved and adapted in a wide range of mystical and magical practices, reflecting his enduring appeal as a powerful and enigmatic figure. In medieval and Renaissance magic, Aberamentho appeared in grimoires, talismans, and amulets, and these texts and objects often depicted him as a figure of great power, capable of granting protection, insight, and spiritual authority. The use of Abrasax in these traditions reflects the ongoing influence of Gnostic thought in Western esotericism, where figures like Aberamentho were reinterpreted and integrated into new spiritual frameworks. One of the more famous examples of Aberamentho's influence is found in the work of Carl Jung. Jung was deeply interested in Gnostic mythology and saw Abrasax as a symbol of the union of opposites, representing the integration of the conscious and unconscious mind. In his 7 sermons to the dead, Jung explored the symbolism of Abrasax as a deity who transcends the dualities of existence, embodying both creation and destruction. For Jung, Abrasax represented the totality of the psyche, the integration of all aspects of the self into a unified whole. In modern occultism, Aberamentho continues to be a figure of fascination. His name and image are invoked in various rituals and magical practices, often as a symbol of transcendent power and spiritual mastery. Aberamentho's dual nature, his connection to the pleroma, and his role as a guide on the spiritual journey make him an enduring and versatile figure in contemporary esoteric thought. Aberamentho stands as one of the more complex and multifaceted figures in Gnostic mythology. His role as a syncretic deity, embodying both light and darkness, reflects the Gnostic understanding of the cosmos as a place of ambiguity and duality. Through his association with the pleroma, the number 7, and the cycles of time and the heavens, Aberamentho serves as a mediator between the material and spiritual realms, guiding souls on their journey towards spiritual liberation. His continued influence in later esoteric and occult traditions underscores the enduring power of his symbolism and the relevance of Gnostic ideas in the exploration of the spiritual mysteries of existence. Whether it's as a protector, a supreme being, or a cosmic guide, Aberamentho remains a potent symbol of the complexities and challenges of the spiritual path, offering insight and inspiration to those who seek to understand the deeper truths of the cosmos. In exploring Aberamentho, we gain not only a deeper understanding of Gnostic cosmology, but also an appreciation for the ways in which ancient spiritual ideas continue to shape modern thought and practice. As a figure who transcends conventional categories and embraces the full spectrum of existence, Aberamentho invites us to look beyond the surface of reality and engage with the profound mysteries that lie at the heart of the human experience. Hey, we have a Patreon. If you want extra shows like the intermezzo or the artwork from all of our videos, check it out. Patreon.com/microphone therapy. All right, that's all I've got for today. If you like it, give us a like and subscribe. If you don't like it, that's okay too. Other than that, have a great day.